literally mid-sentence into him and Kimbella's conversation say, hey, can I steal you for a second? No, excuse you. That was rude. Hey, my loves, what is going on? Thank you so much and welcome back to my channel. But if you are new, hey, what's up? What's going on, girl? What's going on, child? Thanks for checking in here with me. We're going to go ahead and jump into this recap of Love and Hip Hop Family Reunion because it was a doozy. What episode was this? This was episode 6, another the other woman. I don't even think I had even noticed the name of this episode, and I need a drink. Like, get y'all one for sure because I meant to pour me one before I got started and as I was setting up, but nonetheless, get you one, get your cig, get your spliff, get your whatever it is you want to partake on while we get into this recap because y'all. All right, let's go ahead. So, jumping into this, Marcus and Brooke are having, a brunch. So they invite Sin and Boopy to have brunch with them and just like really just to check in and see, how they're doing after Shakana's healing forgiveness loss event the night before or whatever or whatnot. And I guess basically Booby wanted to, I guess he had maybe an intention on kind of just addressing the past beef and the past mess that happened between him and Brooke, admitting that it was kind of a lot and that, any basically had to go down like that or whatever or whatnot. But, just clearing all that up, just Marcus, just happens to mention how, how Brooke may have mentioned like had they not met on the circumstances that they did meet, that they might have been cool, but either way, like they seem to be cool, they seem to be fine. I on a circumstance for some reason don't find it awkward that they're all now able to mix and cohabitate, whatever, however you want to address it. And then mind you, of course, they weren't privy to the conversation that they had with Mimi and Peter and Peter not Cisco but Rich Dollars or whatever and all them or whatever and Jonathan, they weren't privy to that conversation about what had happened with Cisco. So as well, Sim was giving them, just a little drop or whatever or whatnot on, what had happened, with them feeling some type of way about Booby, whatever. We ain't gonna stay on that too, like I look, I'm really working on trying not to make things long for y'all so y'all can stick through these whole things. So let's go and get to it. So basically, they're gonna be separated today. It's Mimi's event, and so the girls are gonna go with the girls, the guys are gonna go with the guys. So before we get all into that little event, what's later going to happen later on that evening, it seems like I guess Stevie is holding an event, and so Peter Gunn shows up to his room, and I didn't know that, that they, knew each other from back in the day, back in the 90s. So they got history. So he's like, hey, Stevie's like, hey, I just want to do like a good mood thing, put everybody in a good mood. Like he got his whole setup. Like he got the whole bag going on. Like he want to get some live music type stuff going on. And he's like, you can play. And, we got Yo-Yo here, she can play like, or JoJo. So like let's go ahead, we can make that a vibe. We can make that a little chill little thing. So I'm like, okay, like I love that. Like as much as I love to hear like a live band, I do enjoy that or whatever or whatnot. So I'm excited to see how that's gonna go, but as well, I'm real, was excited to see like how this whole two, going events are gonna happen with the girls and then the guys, because like they're gonna end up talking about the same thing. But anyway, let's go on and get on. Let's go on and get up with the get up. So basically, at the same time, Stevie's, still feeling some type of way, like it's low key like when he had said basically that that Mimi was acting brand new, it was like, but brand new about what? Like, maybe she's just tired of your foolishness. She's not falling into your mess anymore. Why is she acting brand new? Because she didn't send you an actual invite to this family reunion. Like, men just kill me, but it's mainly Stevie kill me. How he kind of can just act like and be so clueless to what's really going on or what's like whatever, whatever. So we're getting down to our separate little events with the guys and with the girls. So with the girls, it's spa day, and with the guys, they're gonna kick it. They end up like going like to ride like the jet skis and what is that, paddle boarding, is that the right word for that? I feel like kayaking, I feel like that's technically what they call it. Is that technically kayaking when it's on the open? Yeah, okay, so we ain't gonna get into all that. We ain't gonna do all that. So they do that. So I'm not my boy Bobby spending time with the guys. He like, look, I do this spa thing like all the time. I do this all the time in Miami, LA, whatever. Like, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna kick it with the guys, and that's gonna be that. And I'm gonna have a good dudes day or whatever. So like I said, they going, they're having riding on the kayaks, jet skiing, doing that, and the girls are having a spa day, and so they are getting like yoni steam massages. And I think what threw me, because I'm about the same age as some of these women. Like that, not all of them. Like I feel like maybe I could be like underestimating how old some. But basically, it's just to say like that. Like they're not at most maybe, except for JoJo, there might be like a 10-year difference. Like maybe some of them might be in their 40s. Like they ain't that old, so it's kind of just like, but maybe they may not be technically millennial, so maybe that kind of like might would it be? I gotta check that like year or whatever, whatnot. But like they are like so new to this Yoni steam type thing, and like they were like, I think I was just shocked at just like the what am I like just the. I mean, it could have just been jokes, whatever, whatever, whatever. But I'm gonna need y'all if you had. All right, so be clear, because I ain't even had a yoni steam yet. But be clear though, because but I'm not new to it. Me and my milk club talk about it all the time. My A makes her own like little things, and makes her own like matter of fact, I technically she made me one for after I had journey, and I just never did it, and I never because she's supposed to tell me how I can do it at home, because I've never like professionally got it done or whatever or whatnot. But we're not new to these on these themes. Like, and Shakana, of course, Shakana just gotta. Why I feel like Shakana not just about almost everything that anybody's had, except for her own event, maybe Safari's and maybe JoJo's. Like, she just has something to say about everybody's thing. Like, nobody's saying there's nothing wrong with Chioni Boo. We just saying like to keep her healthy, just to show her some love. And some your Yoni would love some love. She would love this theme. Ain't nothing, don't nothing got me wrong with her for you to, show her some love. Y'all show y'all girls some love. Look into these Yoni themes if you have not. Like y'all grown up on that summer's eve and that all that chemical stuff to, wash your body and your feminine areas. Like nah, this that natural stuff. This that get on that yoni steam. But look, like I said, I ain't gonna stay. We ain't gonna make this too long, cause y'all know that I can get the going and going and going. So the guys enjoying it, having a good time, teaming up on the kayaks, singly on the what's the name. And just what kind of gets crazy is like all of a sudden Peter just like disappears out of nowhere. Like, what? Where's you at, Peter? Where did you go, Peter? Like, but I knew Peter was like for a second. I ain't gonna lie, like they had me, like they had me, and I was like for real though, like I hope really nothing happened to him. Like, what if he got lost out there? But when you looking, it's like nothing but like he couldn't have got lost. Like he couldn't have got lost. He got to make his way back. But either way, so the girls, like we do, we just get to talking about, like I can't remember who it was. It might have been Amina, it might have been Sin. Either way, one of them might have just asked, like, we just get the girl chat, get the girl talking, and she was like, what do you do when when you need some and you technically don't got a boo right now, whatever, or a boo that's giving you some, or whatever, or whatnot, because we love our little boy toys and whatever and whatnot. So Mimi was like, well, I got my side man, I got my boyfriend in the drawer, which I mean, at this point, like, if you ain't got no friends in the drawer, if you ain't got something in the drawer, it's not to say that nothing like the real thing, but nonetheless, if you don't know how to please yourself, how you gonna let somebody else know how to please you? And I'm gonna just leave that right there. So they talking about that, whatever, whatever, whatever. And so of course, that kind of leads to the whole. That kind of just leads to them talking about having I basically had basically it kind of like got to like a, well, have you yeah, because Sin was like, yeah, it had to been Amina who asked it, I think, because then Sin had asked her, has she ever had experiment with girls, and she was like kind of brush it off, but in the interview, she was like, that clearly she had experience, but basically just like at the end of the day, she just like did just a little bit too much to settle for the girl thing or whatever or whatnot. So giving even on from that, the guys go from getting in the water, to they weren't in the water, of course, from the water to kind of like just having like some drinks and cigars or whatever or whatnot, and they really just start to talking about like real shit, but basically presently, like what's going on, like how Erica and Safari are, and he's just talking about how they're in a good place, they haven't been in a good place in so long, since in a while, and then coming here like they this is the best place that they've been since in a while or whatever or whatnot, and it kind of really just puts everybody on a reflection or whatever or whatnot. Like even Peter was just talking about how even to this day, like he's having issues with monogamy, and I think it was somebody else that made it comment about I think Steve was like, oh, excuses. I think Bobby or somebody, Marcus, somebody was like, oh, well, you might actually have a problem, and it may be something that Peter needs to explore. But I get it, everybody is not you know if you're not just meant to be monogamous, I guess you're just not meant to be monogamous. Is that even a way to even put it? Like, it's just to say, like, if you want monogamy, then definitely yes, it's definitely something I feel like you need to check into. But if it's just something but just like, yes, I want to explore, I want to have like multiple relationships, whatever, then explore that with somebody who wants that same thing, or who really is okay with that type of open relationship or whatever or whatnot. Like I feel like even like basically it all ended up with Amina coming up, or not Amina, Tara coming up or whatever or whatnot, and how he still has love for her. And it is so crazy because on the flip side, the girls are basically having the same conversation. Amina is talking to JoJo about basically how even after all this time, like she knows that he still, feels for her, and loves her, and to a degree. And if nothing else, at the end of the day, he did, her wrong. Like she should have gotten the ring, and that's all cool and all and everything. But I mean, Tara is like, because basically Amina ends up going and actually saying, having the conversation and telling her basically like, I think, basically kind of like, you should kind of basically like explore this. And he's like, eh, Tara's like, no. She's like, no, it's my time. It's his time to actually sit still and wait. Not, I don't think she necessarily said it like that, but it was just like a, well, no, it's my turn now. Like it's my turn to explore and to find out, what I wanted. And now that you realize, like, but I get it. I get Peter, and I think, and no offense to me, no offense, I don't mean this in an offensive way, but it really does. It's not an excuse, but and it gets kind of basically said later on this episode, like, one, men do not think how we do. The moment women realize that, they will like make their life so much easier. They're so simple, and they're so simple, it's even down to their thinking is simple. So I won't even say stupid no more. I'm not gonna say men stupid because Steve was saying this. So I thought it was gonna say he was saying it, but I ain't gonna call y'all stupid because I don't wanna call y'all simple. They simple. And think about it, when your mama, like when you do something silly, you do something crazy, you might be like, you so simple. Exactly. You got me? You got me? You caught that, right? Yes. So they just simple. So I don't even remember what I was about to get on, but it's okay. We're gonna keep it going from here. But basically, like I said, you know, everybody's just touching on their own personal thing. Jonathan, talking about how he is in a relationship where he cheated. Just like they're just having some like one for one. Like I would love to see the men within my community, the men that I'm amongst, for them to come together. And don't get me wrong, because they come together, but I want it to be a productive come together, to actually know that fine, we had drinks, but we did it, we ain't getting drunk, but like we actually sitting here and having a productive conversation about where they are as men in their lives, not even just about us women, but about really about themselves, and getting into like, it's I want it for my own men in my own community. I hope you want it for your own men in your community. And if you have a significant other or a husband, whatever, I definitely think that that's something that you should promote. Matter of fact, my I have two Brittany besties, but um my B Tams, like her cousins, like they all actually do this thing where they get all the all the guys come together, and they get all the young sons, and they just have like just like a men's and a young boys, like that's lit as fuck. That's fire. Like we as women, we always get together. We're always doing something to come and community together, doing the girls thing, doing the girls thing, whatever, whatever, whatever. But men, grown ass men need that, and our boys need that. In order for our boys to get that, our grown ass men need to get on that. But so that was that. Amina was just Tara. I don't know why I keep wanting to say Amina, but Tara just you know spoke what she wanted for herself. You know, and I loved it. I was just here for it, and I'm gonna leave it at that because I feel like I'm just about to keep rambling. But then y'all, no sooner than this nice event coming, it ended just that quick. So what I couldn't I what I couldn't been waiting for, because if y'all catch my last preview, my last recap, I said preview. Catch my last review. Like I was y'all know, do not come for me. It's the Libra in me. I cannot help it. I just cannot help it. So the drama, the big issue starts. We are had already seen in the preview that basically Safari sent this girl these flowers or whatever or whatnot, and it basically came out in the blogs or whatever or whatnot, and people were tagging and sending Erica messages about this issue. So this girl is snapping a picture of herself with these flowers, these shitloads of flowers, mind you, and a card that's apparently from Safari for thanking her for the drink that they had the previous night, and for her being so beautiful, whatever, base, 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 base. So, one, like, one thing, like, even though Erica Mena is not feeling supported, I do feel like her support is there. But I can get it. But I get it. I can totally get why she feels like she's not being supported. Cause she like, but so same time, Kimbella is the one that's with her when she's going through this, trying to talk her through it or whatever or whatnot, and just kind of like really get her through or whatever. Like she said, does one plus one equal two? Let's be honest. Let's be honest here. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get into it, because at the same time, if they're seeing this, Safari does get, like, he's getting messages from Erica about all this, that what's going on or whatever and whatnot. So it seems like not all the guys are immediately privy to what is happening or what happened as far as like in the blogs, but some of them are or whatever or whatnot. But either way, I'm just losing all my train of thought today, y'all. Like, what is really going on or whatever or whatnot? Like, I'm just completely off. Like, that's what it was. So, like, look, let's not act like this girl could not have put this thing up. But this was immediately my first thought. My initial thought was, okay, all right, my initial thought was like I knew Safari was guilty. Like he did this, he did it, he did it. And then secondly, I'm thinking about like, okay, like let's be honest, like because basically like Amina ends up like coming, and basically comes and up talking to her, trying to figure out, what's going on, talk to me, tell me what happened or whatever or whatnot. So it's kind of like yeah, she could have like she's saying, yeah, we know she's like, oh well, flowers are our thing, like the roses and everything. He always does the big roses, he does the big bouquet. And it even showed the little recap from their previous season when he had did that for her or whatnot. So I think that was when they were at Atlanta. So it was kind of like, okay, if this girl pays attention, if she's a fan, because apparently like he had told her was, and this so-called friend was, this girl sent him a drink. The girl sent him, he stopped, thanked her, whatever. They had a conversation. That was that. Now I'm like, okay, well, she's a fan, so she knows him. She know how he do. Like, she could have easily sent these flowers to herself. She could have nicely, wrote a message from him. Like, let's not be honest. Like this could not have been conjured up all by herself. Like, she could have at all like did this or whatever or whatnot. So flip side of it, everybody's at the pool because everybody's basically like back together. While they're over there, in the room talking, dealing with the issue or whatever or whatnot, trying to calm Erica down from the situation, and you know, Kimbella is updating. It don't even matter. That stuff ain't even important. We're even going at the pool because we're not even popping even at that pool. Like let's even keep this going. So Mimi ends up coming up or whatever because she's hearing Erica, holler and everything from across the hall. So Mimi ends up like, okay, what's going on? Talk to me. Tell me what happened. Like, Erica's breaking down the story or whatever or whatnot, showing like the letter or whatever or whatnot. Mimi. I could totally get what Mimi was saying, and that gave me that's exactly what happened. Especially when, because basically if you listen to even Safari in his interviews, he's still technically like even telling on himself or whatever or whatnot, because he says we're going through a divorce. We're going through a divorce. We're going through a divorce. So again, back to this, men don't think how women think. And at the same time, it's, and this is what like it's still just like make like, I just don't think like this is like a a a game, or he just putting on. Like, y'all say what y'all want to say. Like, I'm here for Safari. I'm here for both of them. Like, but at the same time, either let's make it work, or either way, like let's just go apart or whatever or whatnot. Like, he's too. I just don't think it's act. I just don't think that it is act or whatever or whatnot. And all Mimi was just trying to say is just look. Yes, he did send this right before he left you, right before he came here. Excuse me. He did do this. He sent this right before he came here. And then seeing you and being in a different space, being in another scenery, like something just might have clicked. Now, yes, he probably should have stood up and said, hey, this is what happened. But I can tell they ain't, like Mimi said, he ain't thinking about that. They don't be thinking about none of all that like little stuff. He ain't thinking like, oh, this girl's gonna go now on social media and put it out there. He might not even be thinking about the, like, I ain't gonna say he ain't thought about it at all, about the fact that, okay, I just sent this girl flowers. But at the same time, he's probably thinking like, everything is good. I don't want to send things back down by telling her this, because probably if I tell her this, she's going to take it overboard and it's going to be more than what it is, when this is just all that what it is. Now, it is OD. It is a lot. But like, this is where I'm coming into his defense, because like he said, in his mind, we're going through a divorce. It's over. We're going to go through a divorce. So fine, I'm entertaining whether I'm choosing to, like, he's entertaining. That's all really really that it is to me. Somebody's giving him attention. He's going through a shit moment right now. He want to make it seem like he good, like he ain't stunting what's going on in his relationship. He trying to put on face like men do or whatever or whatnot. So yes, he sent this woman flowers, and then yes, why isn't that possible? Y'all talk to me and tell me why y'all think like that's not possible. They just that like he couldn't have what like it's just because again he's doing these things does not mean that he don't want his marriage, that he don't want things to be right. Like I said, men and women, how we think, how we move, how we do things is two totally different things. And let's not act like when you broke up with your boo, with your man, that he went out here acting really vanilla and act like he didn't care and everything was good because that's when I was breaking up, when I broke up with my boyfriends, exactly how I felt like they were always acting like that. They were good. I'm over here stuck in my feelings. I'm over here stuck with the babies, whatever, whatever, whatever. Like, why are we coming so hard on this man? Like y'all don't have everyday relationships and some of these same things don't be happening in y'all same relationships. Maybe not to the extent, but really the same things be happening. Because if he is out there cheating, y'all out here getting cheated on. If he is out there entertaining y'all's out there entertaining too. I just got real hype about that, and we already going on 30 minutes. So let's just move on, okay? Nonetheless, though, because I done ranted on y'all enough tonight. So again, the end, the last event is the end of the night event is supposed to, end on a good note and just give some positive, chill vibes. Like their vibe just reminded me of like my your chill mix. If you have Apple Music, don't it didn't it just remind you of your chill mix on Apple Music that they mix up together for you? Like it was just chill and just a vibe. It just makes you want to sway and close your eyes and have some wine and light up a breezy like. So, anywho, like Brooke, like, and it just makes it so wonderful, like as well, because like this cast, like all seasons, excuse me, all seasons, not all the different, I guess franchises. I think is the word I want to use. I don't know if that's the right word, but whether it was new people like Amina coming onto the map, and oh, I was about to say Erica, but Erica couldn't sing. Sorry, Erica, I love you, boo. But like people have come on here who really have had some talent. That's basically what I'm here, basically what I'm on here to say. Like, obviously Stevie come from the music industry, Peter coming from the music industry, he playing the drums and I really don't even know what Stevie was over there doing. Was he playing the piano? Like what was he over there doing? Like I honestly either way, I was surprised to even see Erica show up because I honestly just thought after all this that like everybody seemed to have showed up for this event. Like I feel like no matter what, somebody seems to be missing from something, or maybe not. Maybe it just seems like that. Maybe when they be smaller grouped up together, that's when it be seem like somebody might be missing or whatever or whatnot. But nonetheless, everybody's up there. Like Yo-Yo's getting up there, Amina's up there, Brooke is up there, Safari gets up there, and but nonetheless, not too long after he got up there and he did his thing. Either way, I just love like Jojo. I keep forgetting which one I'm supposed to be calling you, but nonetheless, y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Like she be giving them bars, like and then how they kind of like all like kind of like stayed on like the whole flow and the vibe of like the song, and that I felt like they kind of just flowed off the dome with, but either way, it was a vibe that ended up turning into a non-vibe because Shakana gets the notification about this, situation with Safari, and of course now that's what the night ends up being about. So let's just go ahead and get into it. Like Marcus was like, basically at the end of the day, just because it's a blog don't mean it's true. So it's a blog that means it's true. It's a blog that means it's true. Exactly. Let's let's make that clear or whatever or whatnot. So Erica's stepped off and Bobby's checking on her. Even what's our baby name, Stevie, checked on, it was, coming up and checking on her, which it was just like, okay, like maybe we're making some progress, maybe we're getting like a little bit somewhere, because, like Bobby and Erica weren't like, they weren't beefing, but they weren't necessarily okay. So, um, either way, Kimbella steps to him and just like, Kimbella is thick as like, she's thick as I don't know what. Like, why is she so thick, y'all? Like, how? Where did that happen at? Where did that happen at? Either way, she, basically is like, basically at the end of the day, are you gonna take accountability for being with this woman on this date? Not like I didn't date. Like, are you taking accountability? And he's like, I don't know. You mean you don't know? Like, what do you mean? Like, and just as I'm sitting here on the edge of my seat, waiting to get in deeper into that, here comes freaking Cisco with his book. Y'all, I'm sick. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I'm sick of Cisco. You mean to tell me, out of all this going on, Mister, I don't follow the blogs, I don't blah blah blah. You don't see everybody grouped together. You don't see all this. You didn't get any kind of inclination when y'all Weaver was at the men's event that something was going on. How you literally mid sentence into him and Kimbella's conversation say, "Hey, can I steal you for a second?" No, excuse you. That was rude. We're having a conversation, and then y'all know what he coming to talk about. You want to come and talk about this irrelevant bull mess again about why I didn't show up to your aunt party because it embarrassed you? No, I embarrassed myself if I didn't show up. I didn't embarrass you, sir. And if you are embarrassed, that further lets us know the issues and the problems that you have. So, anywho, let's talk about it. And then you sit here and say, and then when you could sit here and say, oh, I know right now this probably might not be the best time to. What that tell you? What does that tell you? So I'm glad. I'm just glad. I'm just so glad that Safari was just like, and really, I'm glad, but it came out of him already being in just in not a good space, and that's why it's just kind of just like, is Cisco clueless? Is he not in the same? Producers, are y'all doing this? Are y'all telling him like, oh, it's a good time to have this like, please tell me what's going through his mind to make him think that this makes sense and that this is a good time to have this conversation. And Safari's just like, no, I really should have just told you it was none of your business. And clearly, that was not what Cisco was expecting to hear. But like, my boy Safari was fired up. He was like, look, all this going on, and I definitely don't feel you coming to check me. So, mind you, our boy Rich and Peter were already like on the sidelines, like having a mini conversation, like, hey, he ready to, now he pulling this dude up. I told him like this wasn't a good time, this not a good time. Why you want to pull him up? Why you want to have this conversation right now? So of course, when they see, Safari getting mad and getting loud and all that, whatever. Now we want to go ahead and like have a call. Now they like ready to come over here and like break this up or whatever. Cause Safari was just like look like what you trying to do? Like we can like you want to check me on some that you embarrassing yourself right now. Keep bringing this up at this point, which I completely agree with. Right, like at this point, like what. They ended up, it looked like they was ended up, giving him some space. So it looked like they, it was a mist of being, broken up, maybe not, but like it's about time somebody check your boy. And I know they ain't gonna let them fight. I know they ain't gonna let them fight. It look like it's gonna possibly like come close to it, because when I say at this point Safari is out of here, he's up here. Yeah, because you can't see that because he's up here. That's how up there that he is. He's way up there. He up there. So y'all, if you made it this far, go ahead and like this video, please, okay? And please subscribe so that you can, why should you subscribe, of course, because if you like content like this, recaps, reviews on these crazy shows, mainly reality shows, but unless if you like recaps, my family stuff, fashion hauls, stuff like that, random no telling, because I kind of just do whatever feels good to me, but kind of all prevalent to lifestyle stuff, really. Go ahead and subscribe to that channel, hit the bell so that you will get notified when I drop these good old videos. And I'll be back and see y'all next week, y'all. Okay?